I am currently here in downtown, or just outside of downtown Norfolk, right next to the Tide Stadium. It's a baseball stadium. And I'm basically by myself here at the parking lot. It started raining earlier this evening, and I guess some of the fireworks events have been canceled. But I heard that there might still be some throughout this section of the city, since we're so close to Portsmouth and Chesapeake area. You can actually see their fireworks from their township. But this is a really nice, open view for you guys to see what it looks like just outside of Norfolk. It's not too dark. It's relatively safe. So I figure, I'll ring in the new year out by the stadium so we can all see, this the fireworks show this evening. We got less than, I believe, about 3 more minutes before all the fireworks will light up the sky. So this is a perfect place to be in. Not too dark, not too bright, so we can just kind of pan around and watch the fireworks take place. I'm going to set up my other camera on a tripod, so just in case I miss anything on this live broadcast, I'll have my tripod and my other phone camera recording, so you can have a full reference of a few minutes to go. Let me set my 2 minutes to go, and literally the rain stopped, and I feel that we got early on in the year. Now that it's not so cold, actually about 6 right now, so it's perfect time to enjoy the outdoors without the rain and the bitter cold that's typically associated during these months. So it's saying that it's actually New Year, right? But I still have yet to see any fireworks in other township. Okay. So I'm very thankful that we managed to get through 2024. It was a rough ride for us. I hope you all didn't had to go through so much hardship, but I certainly did, and so did many of my friends and close people to me. We've basically lost our dear second matriarch, Domna Cornistan. But if anything that we could take from the overall departure of our matriarch in Sigat Marmatse in Romania, that at least she's with her beloved husband now. They're together again. For the longest time she had been staying in her apartment by herself, and it was hard for her. Oh, I'm hearing some fireworks. So we've lost our matriarch in Romania, and she's definitely gonna be dearly missed. Till to this day, it doesn't feel like it happened. It's so unreal because I haven't actually visited Siget yet, so I'm sure all that's gonna materialize, and it'll impact me quite a bit when I go and visit the cemetery where she's at. All right, folks, it is technically New Year and not a whole lot of fireworks. I don't see a whole lot in the sky right now, but you can hear them. So like I said, we're surrounded over in that direction over there is actually the river, and down that way is Portsmouth, and back there is Chesapeake. So this area, it's like a peninsula, Norfolk, surrounded by little tiny, islands. Peninsula, archipelago, very similar setup. But I'm not seeing any fireworks. So here it is. I hear, the fireworks on the other side of the stadium, but unfortunately can't see the fireworks because it's cloudy, it's overcast, it just rained. So fortunately we can't, really see the show. Anyway, there's some questions here, and well, okay, I love you too. Thank you for watching, and Happy New Year to you. It's always great to be around friends and close friends, like families almost, that are following our channel here. Fallout Fame, what are my thoughts on the Nazis? I never liked Nazis, that's one thing. So unfortunately we're at this time in world history where people are trying to bring back the past and are trying to basically reintroduce stupidity into the world. So I hope that answers your question, Fallout Fine. Anyway, it's Happy New Year. We are basically doing our video blog here in Norfolk, just outside of the Tide Stadium. And I'm so grateful that I managed to spend some time here. And it's been many years since I was in this part of the world, celebrating the holidays. So I'm very grateful to be here. I didn't want to congregate so much with too many people this evening because I wanted to do a video blog for New Year's and kind of celebrate it with my friends around the world. Since our channel is pretty global, we have viewers from all over the world. And by the way, tell your friends to subscribe and like us on our YouTube channel, and also like us on Facebook, faceconomicsTV, and faceconomics, just regular faceconomics on our Facebook page. Just like us and subscribe to our YouTube channel, faceconomicsTV. And we also just started our locals channel, Faceconomics Locals, and we're now also on BitChute, so it's fairly similar to YouTube, BitChute is, and Odyssey. So, and I also reinstated my X account, so y'all can also follow us on X. I'm going all full force this year, since we kind of just utilize not even half of the available social media platforms out there, mainly because I was working on various projects. But this time around we're gonna go full force, and we're taking no prisoners. Okay folks, we're gonna try to build up our capacity as much as we can. Help us by telling your family and friends about our overall initiative, which is the utilization of the social media platform in economic development. So basically that would entail sharing your parts of the world, your region of the world, for people to come and visit and attract tourism, and basically influence people that are willing and looking to invest overseas or within different markets. So if y'all can see, that's what it looks like in downtown Norfolk. So most of these buildings are illuminated for the holidays, but these are all financial buildings, mostly banks and mortgage company buildings. So you can see markets are pretty much all over the world, and it's it's a great way for us to help with capacity building and helping other people out and build their overall capacity, market capacity. So yeah, thanks again for joining me on this New Year's Day. I am out at the stadium, at Tide Stadium. This is a baseball stadium. I don't know, some of you probably don't know what a baseball game is, but this is what it looks like here in America. We tend to have various sports, and this is one of them, baseball. Okay, so I hear a bunch of both a mixed bag of fireworks, and it sounds like rifles or some sort of gun popping all over on that area over there. So I'm not gonna venture out that way, but anyway. Yeah, so this is the Tide Stadium in Norfolk, Virginia. That's where I'm at. Just couple minutes away from downtown. What I'll do now, since I have some people watching, I'll drive down towards downtown so y'all can see what it looks like there. Just bear with me, since I can't really talk and have you facing me while driving, so I'll just put the camera facing the road, so you can see the buildings illuminated and the directions that I'm driving towards, and hopefully you guys would enjoy the scenery of downtown Norfolk. Okay, let me try to connect this to my tripod, or not. It looks like my tripod isn't quite cooperating. That's okay. What I'll do is I'll just hold the camera while I'm driving. I hope you guys don't mind. Just just gonna go really slow. But like I said, thank you once again for joining me on this New Year's Day 2025, and looking forward to some great things happening this year. Like I said, we've had quite a bit of challenges in the year 2024. So anyway, here we go. I'm just gonna point the camera towards the road, and we're gonna try to exit here. Luckily, I'm the only one at the parking lot, so it's not as congested on having to get out. But yeah, so anyway, thank you once again for traveling with me, whatever part of the world you're in. Some of you probably have already celebrated your New Year's, since we're actually a couple hours behind Europe and almost 12 hours behind Asia Pacific. So we're not last, but we're fairly close to the last to celebrate the New Year's. And California actually has yet to celebrate the New Year's, and towards the Pacific into Hawaii. So they're gonna be celebrating their New Year's in a few hours. All right, folks. So my name again is Al Mina. I'm the concept author of Faceconomics, the utilization of social media platform in economic development worldwide. We are now driving off towards downtown, and I don't want to have too crazy because there's quite a bit of security and police officers floating around, making sure people aren't drunk. So, which is a good thing because people tend to drink on New Year's and get behind the wheel. So I'm glad that there's some sort of deterrence for people not to want to get behind the wheel. All right, so let's see here. Am I going the right direction? Ooh, okay, I'm not really sure. I think I am. Okay, should have taken a right up there, but we shall overcome. Just go out this way. So unfortunately, no fireworks tonight. A whole lot of people was able to come out and celebrate the New Year's. But that's okay, it's much more important to be where you want to be on the New Year's rather than going out there in the cold and getting rained on. So, all right, this is downtown Norfolk, and we're gonna go on a quick tour of Norfolk. Actually, I'm gonna try to show you my high school, where I went to high school, if you care to know and see where I went to high school. But we'll go this way. That in that direction is what we call the Waterside District. I was just there. I did another video blog right in front of the Nauticus and the pagoda lit up in Christmas lights. So I'm gonna upload that later, since we're doing our live tour right now of downtown Norfolk. So this is the entrance to Main Street, and where you see that Marriott there is where we had our high school prom. Those were the days. I remember we had our high school prom right there at the top of Marriott, and yeah, craziness. I mean, relatively crazy, I would say, just because prom has always been crazy anyway. And this building here, the Icon, used to be one of the buildings where I worked in when it used to be the Bank of America building. So this is what downtown Norfolk looks like, illuminated by Christmas lights and during the holiday season. So obviously the holiday's over, so this is the last evening, I guess, that they're gonna be keeping the lights on. So let's see, wherever else is there, it's fairly quiet because there's no fireworks, right? So people didn't really come out for the fireworks show because they canceled the fireworks show. So this is the Marriott building, and that's the entrance. Yeah, I didn't drive on the other side where the MacArthur building or the MacArthur Mall is, because I'm sensing there's quite a bit of people walking around now. They're leaving the bars. There's a lot of bar hopping going on. So yeah, they're basically coming out and trying to get into their cars. So we're gonna try to stay away from them. But yeah, anyway, there's a guy playing the saxophone there. So, and people are coming out this one hotel here, so y'all can see they're heading back to their cars. So it's going to be fairly crowded here. I better slow down so these kind of I don't run into people. But anyway, so just this, I think November 30th is when this road was used to basically do the grand illumination parade here in downtown Norfolk. It had everybody out and about, and you know, it was very festive. They had the marching band, the mayor's office participating, all sorts of floats. They went all out this year, or last year I should say. But it's a nice little stretch heading towards my high school, Granby High School. So this street here is called Granby Street. Okay, and it's you know, a middle size city, Norfolk. But most of the buildings are fairly old, and they're bunched up in one section of the district, in the downtown district. So over there is MacArthur's Mall, and yeah, it's a fairly good sized mall. So again, thanks for joining me. I'm glad that we got to share this New Year's Eve / New Year's Day video blog while I'm driving around, since yeah, I don't know if I'll be down here next year, you know, so I figured I'll do this video blog and take advantage of this, you know, the lack of people, you know, moving around, since it's almost impossible to do video blogs when it's a crowded area. So that's what it looks like here. In downtown Norfolk, right off Granby Street. So we're about to leave the downtown area. Like I said, like I mentioned, I want to go as slow as I can, because there are some people that have been drinking, especially over there. There, you know, there's tons of people right now just basically going buck wild, since technically today's you know, somewhat of a holiday, so they don't have to go to work today. So they're going buck wild early in the morning. It's midnight, past midnight. So they're over there all over the place. They're just walking, floating around, and you never know. Some of them might jump right on your car or in front of your car, just because they're all so hammered. I saw some guy wobbling around. Obviously he couldn't handle his alcohol, but you know, that's just how it is. Some people that are overly confident, they consume too much alcohol, and they don't know how to manage it once they're all liquored up. So anyway, this is heading towards the older section of Norfolk, very old section. You know, some of the houses in this area neighborhood were dated as far back as 1800s, you know, even maybe older than that. So very historical area. And even though in downtown Norfolk, there's buildings there that have been built back in the 1700s. So Yeah, but it's interesting to see those buildings while they're still around, because they're probably not going to stay up much longer. They're probably going to get demolished, and people will be rebuilding on some of those properties. Matter of fact, there were several already that have been demolished, and some of those buildings are very historic, like during the formation of the country, like during the Civil War. So you can only imagine the history and events that took place in some of those buildings. Like these buildings here are fairly old. It represents Norfolk history, obviously, and let's imagine this town back in the days. These are like their main biggest buildings back then. Very small, but they're still around. So the history of Norfolk is pretty interesting, actually. Back in the day, during the Great Migration of Europeans, this part of Virginia and this city itself was a hotbed for most of the Eastern European Greek population, Jewish population. Oh, by the way, that's the Harris Opera House over there. And so this is the Ghent section. This is the plush upper, scale neighborhood here in Norfolk. But what I was saying is that this part of Virginia and in the Hampton Roads area is one of the oldest and most historic, after Portsmouth, for example, just because majority of the people that came from Holocaust Europe settled here. But there are some people that managed to escape. There was a question about the Nazis, so obviously there were people that escaped the Nazis and ended up settling here in Norfolk. And they actually have some of their synagogues here too, the Jewish synagogues, and some of them have become very affluent Jewish people. Even in downtown Norfolk, there are several buildings that were built by the Jewish immigrants, and basically they rebuilt their lives here and became very wealthy individuals. So one of them is actually the Myers house, the one that I visited a few months ago. Moses Myers was his name, and he became fairly wealthy after he moved to Norfolk. But these buildings up here are fairly new, so these are apartment complex and condos, so they're not that significant. But to the left is more high school, and those high school, that high school there is one of the oldest high schools here in Norfolk. I still see a lot of people walking around, leaving their bar crawl, and some of them are wobbly and definitely aren't 100% conscious, just because they overly consume. Once again, I mean, I've never consumed alcohol, so I wouldn't know what it feels like to be drunk, but I'm guessing it's not a pleasant experience. But with that said, we're just gonna keep on going on Granby Street until we make it to my high school, and that's where we're going to part ways, since I don't want to bore you guys with the drive. So I'm actually moving fairly slow. So by the time we pass my high school, I'll sign off there, and I'll let you guys see what my high school looks like in the evening, even though you can't really see it. but I thought I give you a flavor at least of what Norfolk looks like in the evening. But, so going back to the Jewish population, so I'm fairly, I would say I've gotten familiar with the Jewish history, heritage, people, just because when I was in middle school, we were taught about the Holocaust, Schindler's List and all that. So I got to see what the Holocaust looked like on video. And when I was studying in Israel, I got to visit some of the Holocaust museum and saw Schindler's Schindler's Street that was in front of a museum that looked like a Jewish house. And then when I joined the US Peace Corps, I was sent over to Iași, Romania, which was one of the biggest Jewish community in Eastern Europe, in Romania during the Holocaust. So they had pogroms there, which I just found out about, because for the longest time they kept these kinds of information and history type of factoids away from the world community, just because of the overall I guess reputation impact, that they didn't want certain information to become global in nature. But now they're starting to share those unfortunate events that took place during the Holocaust and World War II, between the Russians and the Germans. But anyway, so we're here on Granby Street still. We pass one of the oldest cemeteries where they have soldiers of the Confederacy, the people that marched with George Washington and people that have helped form America to become an independent country were buried at that Confederate cemetery. But unfortunately we passed it, so I wasn't able to show it to you. But maybe I'll do a video blog of the cemetery, or in that area of the city, when it's light outside, so y'all can see what it looks like. I mean, it's very interesting just because of the tombstones and all sorts of information that is a part of that very historical, one of the oldest cemeteries here in Norfolk. All right, so let's move on, keep on going towards Granby High School, where I went to high school. And yeah, you can see all these buildings, so they're quite old. Even some of the cinemas here were dated, and were built back in the 1800s. So we'll just keep on going. Thank you again for staying with me. I know this is quite lengthy. It's almost half an hour since we connected, but unfortunately I didn't see any fireworks this evening, which is, I guess it's okay. At least I got to drive around. But here we are, we're crossing the Elizabeth River again. And you can't see over it. I don't know if you're able to see the river from here, but oh well. So we're fairly close to Granby High School, my high school. And what I'll do is I'll slow down and have y'all see what it looks like, and then I'm gonna go sign off from there. I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to stop, since I'm on the road driving, but I'll let you know when we're close. And I hope you guys have a wonderful 2025. Tons of good stuff for you and for your family, and I appreciate you taking the time to keep in touch and watch our videos. Please tell your family and friends about us. Subscribe to our channel and tell them to also like us on Facebook. And check us out on Locals if you want to talk to me. I'll be on Locals and we can have an interaction there on real time. And BitChute as well as Odyssey. Okay, so here we are. Granby High School is on the left. And let's see if I can go even slower. We're not quite there, but we're about a few seconds away. So y'all can see there's still people on the road. So these are people that probably went out bar hopping. So it could get very tricky when you have people that gotten liquored up behind the wheel. I don't want to go too fast. But we're very close. If you can see the traffic light up ahead, the green traffic light, that's where the high school is. Okay, so it looks like it's turning red, so we can stop there and y'all can see what it looks like outside of Granby High School. And the high school was actually being renovated while I was attending it, so it doesn't look like the actual high school that I attended, but the outside of it is still, true to its form. It's the same architecture and feature from the outside, but the inside is very modern. So this is Granby High School right there to my left. My former high school. Tons of fun memories, and I'm glad that I managed to attend that school. Anyway, folks, thank you so much for keeping me company. I hope you enjoy our quick tour of Norfolk. And with this said, I'm gonna sign off now since I don't want to bore you too much. But I look forward to our next engagement. Y'all have a wonderful 2025. Please feel free to comment at the bottom section of this video blog. Let me know if there's anything that you'd like me to talk about or consider doing on my next video blog. All right, well, thank you once again, and have a good rest of your morning, afternoon, or evening, whatever part of the world you're currently watching us. Goodbye for now.